What if I told you by the end of the year, I could give you back 55 total days of your life? That sounds completely crazy, I know, but listen to this. The average person spends about 218 minutes a day procrastinating. That means by the end of the year, the average person spends about 55 days a year procrastinating. Now look, I've tried so many different ways and tactics to avoid procrastinating, and most of them didn't work for me. But there were 7 tricks that helped me stop procrastinating. If you're like me and would love to have an extra 55 days of your time back to spend doing what you actually love, because these 7 tricks absolutely transform my productivity levels. So let's jump right into it. Number 1, you have the 5-minute rule. If you've seen my channel before, you know that I've talked about the 5-minute rule quite often because it is one of my favorites. And if you're not familiar with the 5-minute rule, let me break it down. Here's how you use it. Choose the task you're avoiding, set a timer for 5 minutes, start the clock, start the task, and then when the timer goes off, you choose whether or not you want to continue the task that you're doing. It's that simple. The 5-minute rule is especially great for me on the days that I don't feel like getting anything done. No one is at 100% every single day of the week and every day of the year. Some days it's just harder to get things done than others. And it's on the days that it's really hard to get things done that I find that I like to implement the 5-minute rule. At the end of the day, when I look back and I look at my task list, I feel a lot better knowing that I hit every single task that I needed to, even if it was just for 5 minutes. The best part about the 5-minute rule, it takes away the hardest part of every task, which is simply just starting. We oftentimes procrastinate because of how big a task is at hand, and we just know that it's going to take forever and it's going to be super overwhelming. But whenever you're able to implement the 5-minute rule, you begin to understand that it's not overwhelming because you only have to do it for 5 minutes. And it helps break it down and make it more simple for your brain to process, which makes it easier to start. And most likely when that 5 minutes is up, you're going to want to continue working on the task instead of stopping anyways. But sometimes you do have that task where it's like the last thing that you want to do on this earth, so you do stop at the 5 minutes, but hey, at least you made some progress with it. Trick number 2 is to use rewards to stay motivated. You know that feeling when you know you have plans later that night, but you're busy occupied doing something and you just think about how the plans are going to turn out and you start getting excited and you get that feeling in your stomach and you can't wait for your plans? Well, that's essentially what you're doing here. You know, using this reward system can be as small as giving yourself a cookie after a task or taking a week off of work and taking a trip to Tokyo. There's a wide range and you can use it however you want. But here's a tip. You can give yourself a reward for the amount of work that you believe you're doing. Let me explain. So if my task for the day is to come up with a video idea, write a script or outline, and get my thumbnails done and everything like that, and that takes about 7 to 10 hours of work for the day, I think a fair reward for myself is typically I can watch a movie or a TV show that I really enjoy, and I feel like I actually deserve to watch it for the day. Now, if I didn't do that work and I still gave myself that reward, I would feel guilty as I'm watching the show or the movie, and it wouldn't even be enjoyable at all. On a larger scale, you know, if you've spent years of your life building up this company and you just sold it for 10 million, then you deserve every right to take a week off work and go to Tokyo and let loose a little bit. You know what I mean? Why not? We know what our brain wants, and it's a lot easier to get something done when we know we're going to be rewarded for it, even if it's just the smallest rewards, like a cookie, because I love sweets. God, love sweets. All right, trick number 3, re-clarify your goals. I can't stress this enough, but sometimes procrastination isn't just sitting around and avoiding a task. Sometimes it's just you're confused, like you don't know where to start. You don't know what you need to get done. For me, this might be the biggest difference in my productivity levels on a day-to-day basis. It always comes down to how clear I am on what it is I need to get done. And on the days that I know what I need to get done, it's typically because I spend the night before thinking about how my day is going to be, and I prepare myself for that. If I tell myself the night before that, like, this is what we're getting done, my body and mind is already prepared for that when I wake up the next day. So there's no like, oh, I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. It's like, no, we talked about this yesterday. We got this, this, and this. Let's do it. And when you go through that process in your head and you're waking up the next morning, you can spend 100% of your energy tackling those tasks instead of thinking about what it is you need to do, because that's just wasting energy. Like if you wake up and you don't know what you need to get done and you're just trying to think about it, you know, as the day goes on, you just made you a cup of coffee and you're kind of looking around. You're like, well, I need to do the dishes. I could do the laundry as well. Oh, but I don't know, because I gotta also go to the grocery store, and that takes a while. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do, but we'll figure it out, right? I don't know. Basically, it's just a whole loophole. And then when you don't know what you want to do, there's this concept of time. Like, I don't even realize how big of a role this plays. Well, I have a lot of time to do these tasks, but then I'll procrastinate so much where I'm like, I only have enough time to get one task done. And then you go to bed and you're like, well, that day was kind of wasted. I only got to one thing. So it makes procrastinating way easier when you're not clear on what you need to get done. So please get that list the night before and know what you need to get done. Trick number 4, give yourself breaks. So breaks are a key factor that I've involved in my life for a few reasons. One of the biggest reasons is because, let's say I'm working on a script or a thumbnail idea. I will personally get latched on to one idea and I'll completely run with it for as long as I need to until that idea comes from a thought to an actual visualization or a script. And once I finish, I will take a break and I'll come back. And I'm not talking like an hour-long break. I'm talking just like a 5 minutes, like take a lap, like step away from the computer, stretch a little bit. And 9 times out of 10, when I come back to my computer, the idea that I have been working on for the past 4 hours is complete trash and I don't like it. But because I have separated myself from the computer for a bit and allowed myself a fresh breath of air, I have a more clear mind. So I end up throwing out the idea altogether and I completely restart. But one thing I've learned is if I take a break and come back and I still like the idea, that's when my ideas I feel are way better. I'm happy with the process when it's said and done if I come back from my break and I like it. So that's one reason why I like to take breaks. The other reason is because I get burnt out really quick. If I'm doing something so repetitive for so long, I start to get frustrated. And if I get frustrated and I'm forced to still continue doing something, I get upset. And then when I get upset, work is horrible, everything is horrible, I don't want anything to do with it. So allowing myself breaks, it's just a quick breather, a quick reset for the day. Like seriously, just like 5 minutes of just stretching or walking like in circles helps way more than just sitting there and like forcing yourself to get it done. Like I would rather have less time working that is way more productive and has more depth to it with breaks than to force myself to sit there and work longer hours and have less quality work, if that makes sense. Trick number 5, listen to motivational videos. Now look, I know people are kind of like motivational videos, like I don't want to hear somebody, you know, yelling at me or whatever. But when I am having a really bad day, like if something triggered me or whatever, you know, some days I just wake up and I'm like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be in this thing we call life, whatever. But the only thing that can really take me from that down bad to, okay, let's get this stuff done in a single day is listening to David Goggins specifically. Like there's nothing that helps me more than realizing that I'm not carrying the boats and that I'm playing the victim and really I'm just amount to nothing because I'm letting my emotions decide how my day is going to be instead of detaching myself from my emotions and actually getting done what I need to get done instead. I don't know, it's just there's something beautiful about having this external voice just re-emphasizing what you know to be true. And when you don't feel like doing anything, when you're hearing that voice, that triggers me to like, okay, you can't settle for this. Like you want this life that you vision of in your head so bad, but yet you don't want to do anything about it. So I think it's really important. I would highly suggest that each and every person watching this video find that person that can speak to them and change their perspective. Like whether that be a motivational speaker or a preacher, maybe, like, you know, some people listen to music a lot. So even music, that may help as well. But there's nothing that can change my mood around more than listening to a motivational speech when I need it the most. All right, trick number 6, optimize your space and prepare the night before. The mornings are won the night before, not when you wake up. And I know I've kind of already touched on this on like earlier in this video, but let me explain further. It's so important to, when you go into a space, that it's how you want it to be. Like there's nothing more frustrating than going into the kitchen, than waking up in the morning and going into the kitchen to make a cup of coffee, but you have no coffee cups because everything's dirty and it's all in the sink, and then and then your table's covered with mail that you haven't opened for the last 3 months, and everything's just dirty. There's stains everywhere. Like to me, I can't do it. I need it to be clean. Like if I'm trying to work in a messy space, I cannot think straight. Maybe you can, but I can't. So if you can't, I highly suggest that you take the time and the energy that you have at the end of the day to prepare the spaces that you know that you're going to be in the next morning. Because when you wake up the next morning, when you're going to bed, you know what you need to do the next day because you already have that list. So now you just vision where you're going to be working at. Sometimes it's a coffee shop, sometimes it's from the house, sometimes it's from the office. Visualize what you're going to do, have that plan, and make sure that the spaces that you're going to be in are exactly how you need them to be, because the less decisions that you have to make that day, the more energy you have to execute on the tasks at hand, if that makes sense. Like a quick example, specifically, if I know that I'm filming, I need my filming space to be clean because I get frustrated quick. Like not like yelling frustrated, but just at myself, I get frustrated if I'm trying to film and then it's dirty and then I have to spend time cleaning. And then all of a sudden I realize, now is like a really good time to probably reorganize everything, to deep clean everything. And then I end up cleaning so much that I'm not even filming anymore because I just realized how dirty this space actually was. Again, this is for me personally. So if you do not, if you're like, fine, let's get it done, I don't care what the conditions are, please do that. But if you're like me and need a clean space to think properly, just do it the night before. It makes everything so much better the next day. Less decisions equal more energy. Alrighty, trick number 7, get rid of your distractions. Like this is the most obvious one. Everybody knows what's coming here, but do me a favor. If you guys have made it this far in the video, I'd appreciate if you guys smash the like button and then also comment down your screen time for the week and that you love this video if it's helping. No, but seriously, comment your screen time for the week because I want to see what it is. Mine is actually horrible. So if I see some people commenting down below, I'll also throw it in there. Now, I understand that not every single minute spent on your phone is procrastinating. Sometimes you're on the phone talking with friends, like you need to build relationships, you need to keep relationships good. And a lot of people work off their phone or the computer nowadays. But I would still argue that about 80% of that time spent on your phone is probably not productive. But hey, what do I know? I actually know a lot because I used to procrastinate a lot. There was a time, and I'm not kidding, my screen time averaged about 15 hours a day. And I'm not proud to say that. I'm not. It was horrible. But sometimes, it's just where you're at in life. It's just where you're at. So 15, that's so crazy to me. And I'm sorry if you guys got 15 hours. No shame. I understand. But it's just crazy. Like that, I don't know. That's crazy to think about for myself. But just simply eliminate all distractions. I know there's a bunch of apps and stuff that you can use that can like block out the amount of time that you can spend on an app or whatever. But like if your phone is a distraction to you, 1, turn off notifications. If you can't get past that and you don't need your phone, throw your phone out and to a different room wherever you're not going to be. Like there's no need to have your phone on you if you're not going to be using it for what you're trying to get done. So you know what your distractions are better than what I do. I know my distractions, you know yours. And this isn't like an extra trick, but this is just like a bonus tip. The more you know yourself and what causes you to be distracted, the better you can help yourself. Because like for me, if I'm working on something, I've gotten better where now I can have my phone on me, but like I have to have it face down. I can't have it face up because then the lights pop up on the notifications. But like just work with yourself to make yourself less likely to procrastinate. So these 7 tips here, these are the best things that have possibly helped me based on my type of procrastination levels. Like I needed to be clean. So what do? I clean it the night before, stuff like that. These are based off who I am and what have helped me. So if there's anything you take from this video, I would say to learn yourself and what causes you to procrastinate, or start observing where you realized you started drifting off and kind of where your attention went to. If you're on your phone or if it's your TV, the more you help yourself, the easier it will be to stop procrastinating. But I've not perfected not procrastinating by any shape or form, but I have gotten way better. And the key here is just progress. These tips aren't gonna fix it completely after one night. It's just about making progress and understanding yourself. Because those 55 days, I calculated it, and it was like, from, if you took the 218 minutes and did it from 18 years old to 70 years old, that the amount of time that you spend procrastinating comes out to just under 8 years of your life. So if you procrastinate on your phone just scrolling, that's 8 years of your life. 8 years, that's crazy. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. These were my best tips that I could give you guys based on my experience. So if this helped you guys out, I'd appreciate it if you guys hit the subscribe button. It just lets me know I'm doing something right. And if you guys are adopting a trick that I shared with you guys, or you guys have already done one of the tricks I've shared, please comment down below. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. And if I didn't name one that you find helpful, I'm sure other people will. So please comment that down below for the other people to see. Again, hope this helped. See ya. Love ya.